They say the loudest person in the room is often the weakest, but have you ever noticed how the strongest individuals, those who command respect, wisdom, and influence, are often the quietest? They don't chase, they don't force, they don't demand attention. They simply allow life to unfold, trusting that everything meant for them will come naturally. And yet, in a world that tells you to constantly speak up, to fight for recognition, to force opportunities, silence seems like a weakness, but it's not. Silence is power. Silence is wisdom. Silence is the very thing that aligns you with the flow of life. The problem is most people are too impatient. They speak before they think. They rush before they're ready. They force doors open only to realize they walked into the wrong room. But those who master the art of silence understand something profound. What is truly meant for you cannot be stolen. It cannot be rushed. It cannot be forced. When you stay silent, when you stop chasing, life has a way of bringing everything to you effortlessly. Most people go through life under the illusion that they must control everything to succeed. They believe that if they push hard enough, force situations, and constantly take action, they can shape their destiny exactly how they want. This mindset creates stress, anxiety, and frustration because life does not work that way. The more someone tries to manipulate circumstances, the more resistance they encounter. It is like trying to hold water in clenched fists. The tighter the grip, the more it slips away. True success does not come from chasing, begging, or forcing things to happen. It comes from alignment, trust, and allowing things to unfold naturally. When a person is desperate to control outcomes, they start making choices from a place of fear rather than confidence. Fear-driven decisions often lead to mistakes, missed opportunities, and settling for less than what is truly meant for them. For example, someone desperate for love might chase a relationship that is not healthy for them, ignoring red flags just to avoid being alone. Someone who is eager for success might jump into business deals that seem promising but eventually lead to loss because they didn't take the time to analyze properly. This is the danger of forcing things. When a person tries to rush or manipulate the process, they often end up with results that do not truly fulfill them. Nature itself teaches this principle. A tree does not force itself to grow faster than its natural pace. It does not stress about when it will bear fruit. It simply absorbs what it needs from the soil and the sun, growing at the perfect speed, producing fruit at the right season. But humans, in their impatience, do the opposite. They want everything immediately. They want success overnight, love instantly, and results without the process. They forget that everything in life has its own timing, and trying to control it only creates frustration. Think about the most powerful and successful individuals. They do not run around desperately trying to grab opportunities. They attract opportunities because they operate from a place of confidence and patience. They trust in their abilities, make calculated moves, and allow the right opportunities to come to them instead of chasing them. This does not mean they do nothing. It means they take aligned action rather than forceful action. They work on themselves, improve their skills, and prepare for success, but they do not allow desperation to drive their decisions. The law of attraction works in the same way. What a person focuses on with desperation tends to move further away. It is like a person chasing a butterfly. The more they run after it, the more it flies away. But the moment they stand still, the butterfly might land on their shoulder. This is how life works. When a person stops chasing and starts trusting, the right things naturally gravitate toward them. This does not mean giving up on dreams or goals. It means pursuing them with confidence and patience rather than desperation and fear. Society teaches people to believe that they must always be in control, always pushing, always making things happen. But in reality, the greatest breakthroughs come when a person learns to step back and trust the process. It is not about doing nothing. It is about knowing when to act and when to wait. Some of the best opportunities in life come when least expected, but they only come to those who are open, patient, and aligned rather than those who are constantly forcing outcome. People often confuse control with power. They think that controlling every detail of their life makes them powerful. But real power comes from the ability to remain calm in uncertainty, to trust that everything is working out, even when it is not immediately visible. Those who are truly powerful do not panic when things do not go their way. They do not force doors open. They know that what is truly meant for them will never require desperate effort. When someone learns to let go of the illusion of control, life becomes easier. There is less stress, less anxiety, and more trust. Things start falling into place effortlessly. The right relationships, the right opportunities, and the right moments appear at the perfect time. But this only happens when a person stops trying to control everything and starts allowing life to flow naturally. Stillness is one of the most overlooked yet most powerful forces in life. People often associate power with movement, with constant action, with making noise and being seen. But the truth is, real power comes from knowing when to move and when to wait. Those who understand the value of stillness never waste their energy chasing after things that are not meant for them. They do not act out of impulse, nor do they make decisions out of fear. Instead, they observe, analyze, and only take action when the moment is right. This is how the most successful and influential people operate. They move with precision, not desperation. In nature, the most dominant predators are not the ones who run after everything in sight. A lion does not waste its energy chasing every animal that crosses its path. Instead, it waits, it watches, it studies the environment, the movements of its prey, the direction of the wind, and the perfect moment to strike. And when it finally moves, it does so with full confidence, wasting no effort. This is the power of stillness. It is not about doing nothing. It is about doing the right thing at the right time. It is about understanding that patience is not a weakness, but a strength. Most people struggle with this concept because they are conditioned to believe that success comes from nonstop action. They feel anxious if they are not constantly doing something. They believe that if they do not chase after opportunities, they will miss out. But in reality, those who are always running, always moving without direction, often end up exhausted, frustrated, and lost. They spread their energy too thin, trying to control everything, instead of trusting that the right things will come to them at the right time. Think about the difference between a person who makes decisions in a hurry and someone who takes their time. The one who rushes often ends up making mistakes. They act based on emotion rather than wisdom. They choose jobs, relationships, and opportunities out of fear of missing out rather than out of genuine alignment. But the person who understands stillness knows that waiting does not mean losing, it means preparing. They take time to develop their skills, to study their surroundings, to ensure that when they do act, their actions lead to success. Many people fail not because they are not talented or hardworking, but because they lack the patience to let things unfold naturally. They start businesses and expect instant success. They enter relationships and demand immediate perfection. They set goals and get frustrated when results do not come overnight. But true mastery, true greatness, comes from those who understand the process. They do not panic when things take time. They do not rush just because the world pressures them to move fast. They know that when they are fully prepared, when they have built themselves up in silence, the right opportunities will come to them effortlessly. The reason why stillness is so powerful is that it allows a person to see what others miss. When someone is always moving, always talking, always forcing, they are too distracted to notice the subtle opportunities around them. But those who practice stillness develop an awareness that is unmatched. They see patterns, they recognize potential, and they understand timing in a way that others cannot. This is why the most successful people often seem calm, unshaken by challenges, and confident even in uncertain situations. They have mastered the art of patience. Stillness also creates a sense of mystery and authority. People are naturally drawn to those who do not reveal everything at once. When someone is always loud, always explaining, always chasing, they lose their power. But the person who moves quietly, who does not react to everything, who carries themselves with a quiet confidence, those are the ones who command respect without even trying. They do not beg for attention. Attention naturally finds them. They do not force situations. Situations align in their favor. Understanding when to be still and when to move is one of the most valuable lessons a person can learn. It is the difference between wasting energy on things that do not matter and channeling energy into the things that truly bring success. Those who move too soon often regret it, but those who wait, who trust, who only act when the time is right, always end up exactly where they are meant to be. When a person chooses silence over constant talking, they gain an awareness that others do not. The world is full of distractions, with people speaking over one another, trying to prove their points and seeking validation. In this noise, most people miss the subtle but important details that could change their lives. Those who practice silence, however, become more observant. They notice the way people behave, the way situations unfold, and the hidden opportunities that others overlook. This heightened awareness allows them to navigate life with greater wisdom, avoiding unnecessary mistakes and making better decisions. When someone constantly talks, they are often focused on what they are saying rather than what is happening around them. They miss key details in conversations, fail to pick up on body language, and overlook the real meaning behind people's words. On the other hand, those who remain silent and listen carefully gain a deeper understanding of the people and situations they encounter. They hear not just the words, but also the emotions and intentions behind them. This ability allows them to read people better, understand motivations, and make informed choices in their personal and professional lives. Silence creates space for observation. When a person is quiet, they can step back and see the bigger picture. They notice patterns in relationships, business, and life in general. They begin to see that most events are not random, but follow a certain rhythm. This understanding helps them anticipate opportunities and challenges before they arise. While others act impulsively, reacting to life as it happens, those who practice silence are prepared. They have already seen the signs and know the right moves to make. One of the greatest advantages of awareness through silence is the ability to recognize opportunities that others miss. In any situation, opportunities exist, but they are often hidden beneath the surface. Most people are too busy talking or rushing to notice them. However, those who remain quiet and observe can see these opportunities clearly. Whether in business, relationships, or personal growth, silence allows them to identify the right moments to act. They do not waste energy chasing everything that comes their way. Instead, they selectively pursue the opportunities that truly align with their goals. Silence also helps a person avoid unnecessary conflicts. Many misunderstandings and arguments arise from reacting too quickly. When someone feels attacked or challenged, their first instinct is often to respond immediately, defending themselves or proving a point. But this reaction can make things worse, escalating the situation instead of resolving it. Those who practice silence do not fall into this trap. They listen, analyze, and respond only when necessary. This ability allows them to maintain peace, avoid pointless arguments, and handle conflicts with wisdom rather than emotion. Another powerful effect of silence is its impact on personal growth. When a person is always surrounded by noise, they have little time to reflect on their own thoughts, emotions, and goals. Silence creates the space needed for self-awareness. It allows a person to understand their strengths, weaknesses, desires, and fears. Through quiet reflection, they gain clarity about their purpose and the direction they should take in life. This self-awareness is crucial for making decisions that are truly aligned with one's values and aspirations. People who master the art of silence also develop patience. In a world that demands immediate responses and instant gratification, patience is a rare and valuable trait. The ability to remain silent and wait before speaking or acting leads to better decision-making. It prevents mistakes caused by impulsiveness and ensures that every action taken is well thought out. Those who are patient tend to achieve greater success in life because they do not rush into situations unprepared. They take their time, observe, and move when the moment is right. The presence of a silent and observant person often commands respect. When someone speaks only when necessary, their words carry more weight. Others pay attention because they know that when this person does speak, it is important. In contrast, those who constantly talk without careful thought often lose credibility. People stop listening to them because their words seem unfiltered and uncalculated. By speaking less and observing more, a person gains influence without having to demand it. When someone cultivates awareness through silence, they gain an advantage in every area of life. They see what others do not, understand situations on a deeper level, and make decisions that lead to success. They avoid unnecessary conflicts, recognize hidden opportunities, and develop a sense of clarity that guides them toward the right path. Silence is not just the absence of words, it is the presence of awareness, wisdom, and control. Emotional control is one of the greatest strengths a person can develop, and silence plays a crucial role in mastering it. Many people go through life reacting to every situation impulsively, letting their emotions dictate their actions. They get angry and lash out, feel hurt and immediately respond, experience frustration and make rash decisions. But those who understand the power of silence do not fall into this cycle. They recognize that reacting in the heat of the moment often leads to regret. Instead, they choose to remain silent, process their emotions, and respond only when they are in control. When someone practices silence, they create space between their emotions and their actions. Instead of being controlled by feelings of anger, frustration, or impatience, they learn to observe these emotions without immediately acting on them. This simple practice can change the course of a person's life. A single emotional reaction can ruin relationships, destroy opportunities, and create unnecessary conflict. But those who remain silent in difficult moments give themselves time to think. They allow emotions to settle before making decisions, ensuring that their responses are wise rather than impulsive. People who lack emotional control often find themselves in constant turmoil. They get easily offended, argue over small things, and let external circumstances dictate their happiness. Their peace is fragile because it depends on how others treat them or how situations unfold. But those who have mastered silence are different. They do not allow outside forces to disturb their inner calm. They understand that not everything requires a reaction and not every situation deserves their energy. This ability gives them a sense of power over their own lives. Instead of being controlled by emotions, they control their emotions. Silence also helps a person gain perspective. When something upsetting happens, the immediate emotional response is often exaggerated. A small inconvenience feels like a major problem. A slight disagreement feels like a betrayal, and minor criticism feels like an attack. But when someone remains silent and takes time to reflect, they start to see the situation more clearly. They realize that not everything is as serious as it seems in the moment. This perspective allows them to respond with maturity rather than emotion. In high-pressure situations, emotional control is even more important. Leaders, successful individuals, and those in positions of influence cannot afford to let emotions dictate their decisions. They must remain composed, think rationally, and act with confidence. Silence is a key tool that allows them to do this. When faced with a difficult decision, they do not rush. They take a step back, observe the situation, and respond strategically. This level of control sets them apart from those who panic, overreact, or let emotions cloud their judgment. One of the greatest benefits of emotional control is the ability to maintain strong relationships. Many relationships are damaged not by major problems, but by unnecessary arguments, misunderstandings, and words spoken in anger. When someone learns to remain silent instead of reacting immediately, they prevent many of these issues. They listen instead of interrupting, understand instead of assuming, and speak only when they have something meaningful to say. This makes them more respected, more trusted, and more valued by others. Another powerful effect of silence is that it protects a person's energy. Arguing, proving a point, and reacting emotionally to every situation is exhausting. It drains mental and emotional strength, leaving little energy for the things that truly matter. But those who master silence conserve their energy. They do not waste time on meaningless conflicts. They do not let negativity consume them. They choose to focus on what is important, letting go of things that do not serve them. This not only brings peace, but also allows them to channel their energy into growth, success, and happiness. People who lack emotional control often live with regret. They say things they do not mean, make decisions they later wish they could change, and damage relationships they actually care about. But those who practice silence avoid these regrets. They understand that words, once spoken, cannot be taken back. They know that every action has consequences, so they choose to remain silent until they are sure their response is one they will not regret later. Mastering emotional control through silence is a skill that requires practice, but it is one of the most valuable abilities a person can develop. It allows them to navigate life with wisdom, build stronger relationships, make better decisions, and maintain inner peace. While others react impulsively and suffer the consequences, those who remain silent and composed gain control over their emotions, their actions, and ultimately their lives. Desperation pushes things away, while quiet confidence naturally draws the right people and opportunities toward you. Many people believe that if they try hard enough, chase after what they want, and constantly prove their worth, they will attract success. But in reality, this approach often has the opposite effect. When someone is desperate, whether in relationships, career, or personal goals, they create an energy that repels rather than attracts. Desperation signals lack, fear, and insecurity, while confidence and patience signal abundance, trust, and strength. Think about the difference between someone who is desperate for attention and someone who naturally commands respect. The person who constantly seeks validation, over-explains themselves, and tries too hard to impress others often comes across as needy. On the other hand, the person who is composed, who speaks only when necessary, and who carries themselves with quiet confidence, draws people in effortlessly. They do not beg for attention. It naturally comes to them. This is because confidence is attractive while desperation is not. This principle applies in every area of life. In relationships, the person who is always available, constantly seeking approval and trying to force connections, often ends up being taken for granted or ignored. But the one who values themselves, who moves with quiet self-assurance, and who does not chase people, earns more respect and admiration. In business, the entrepreneur who constantly tries to sell, push, and persuade often struggles, while the one who focuses on creating value, maintaining their integrity, and letting results speak for themselves attracts loyal customers and meaningful opportunities. One of the main reasons desperation is so unattractive is that it signals insecurity. When someone is desperate for something, it suggests that they do not believe they are truly deserving of it. They feel they must prove their worth rather than knowing it internally. But those who trust that the right things will come to them do not need to beg or chase. They move with certainty, knowing that their value does not decrease just because others do not immediately recognize it. Attracting the right things requires an energy of abundance rather than lack. When a person truly believes that what is meant for them will find them, they do not stress over temporary setbacks. They do not act out of fear or pressure. They understand that patience is part of the process. This mindset not only brings peace, but also makes them more attractive to opportunity. Employers, partners, and influential people are drawn to those who have a quiet confidence about them, those who do not seem desperate, but rather assured of their own worth. Consider how successful individuals operate. They do not constantly try to prove themselves to everyone. They do not announce every move they make or chase after validation. Instead, they focus on their craft, build their skills, and let their results speak. Over time, opportunities and people naturally gravitate toward them. This is because success is attracted, not pursued through desperation. It is not about doing nothing. It is about moving in alignment with one's goals rather than forcing outcomes. Those who understand this principle also know the power of walking away. When something is not serving them, whether it is a toxic relationship, a job that does not align with their purpose, or a situation that does not feel right, they do not hold on out of fear. They walk away with confidence, knowing that better things will come. This self-respect not only brings peace, but also increases their value in the eyes of others. People respect those who know their worth and are not afraid to let go of what does not align with them. Patience is a key element of attraction. Many people fail to attract what they want because they are too impatient. They want immediate results, instant success, and immediate validation. But true attraction takes time. The right opportunities come when a person is ready, not when they are desperate. The most successful people understand that waiting is not wasting time. It is preparing. They use the waiting period to improve, to learn, and to position themselves for when the right opportunity arrives. Desperation creates resistance, while confidence creates flow. When someone tries too hard to control every outcome, they often push away the very things they desire. But when they trust, remain patient, and move with quiet certainty, the right things naturally come to them. This does not mean being passive. It means knowing when to act and when to wait. Those who embrace this mindset attract success, relationships, and opportunities effortlessly because they do not chase, they attract. One of the most powerful aspects of silence is its ability to create an aura of mystery and respect. In a world where everyone is eager to share every thought, opinion, and detail of their lives, those who choose to remain reserved naturally stand out. They do not reveal everything at once, nor do they seek validation through constant explanations. Instead, they allow their presence, actions, and wisdom to speak for them. This makes people curious, interested, and ultimately more drawn to them. When someone talks too much, they become predictable. Others quickly figure them out, leaving little room for curiosity or intrigue. But when a person practices silence, they create an air of mystery. People do not immediately know what they are thinking or planning, which makes them more intriguing. This is why some of the most respected individuals are those who do not speak unnecessarily. They do not waste words or over-explain themselves. When they do speak, it is intentional, meaningful, and impactful. Mystery naturally commands respect. When someone does not reveal everything about themselves, they gain an advantage. Others are left wondering about their thoughts, their plans, and their capability. This creates an element of unpredictability that keeps people engaged and attentive. They listen more closely when such a person speaks, and they value their words more highly because they are rare and deliberate. On the other hand, those who constantly talk, explain, and reveal too much lose this advantage. Their words become noise, easily ignored, and often forgotten. People who maintain an air of mystery are often seen as more powerful. This is because they are not easily influenced or manipulated. When someone speaks too much, they give away information that others can use against them. They reveal their weaknesses, their insecurities, and their plans before they even take action. But those who stay silent keep their power intact. They do not allow others to predict their moves, which gives them an element of control in any situation. Silence also has a way of making people question their own actions. When someone does not respond immediately to provocation, criticism, or drama, it makes others uncertain. They start to wonder what the silent person is thinking, whether they are planning something, or if they are unaffected by the situation. This uncertainty often leads to respect. People start to see them as emotionally strong, unshaken, and in control. Those who react impulsively, however, often come across as weak, defensive, or lacking self-discipline. In leadership, the ability to remain silent at the right moments is a sign of strength. The best leaders are not the ones who talk the most, but the ones who speak only when necessary. They listen more than they speak, observe more than they react, and respond only after carefully considering their words. This makes them appear wise, thoughtful, and confident. Their silence alone can command attention, making people eager to hear what they have to say. In personal relationships, mystery can also deepen attraction and respect. When someone reveals too much too soon, they remove the excitement of discovery. But when they maintain a sense of mystery, they keep others engaged and interested. People are naturally drawn to those they cannot fully figure out. They want to learn more, to understand what makes them think and act the way they do. This creates a deeper connection built on curiosity and respect rather than mere familiarity. Mystery also prevents unnecessary misunderstandings. Many conflicts arise because people say too much, reveal their frustrations too openly, or speak without thinking. Those who practice silence avoid these issues. They do not give others unnecessary information that can be misinterpreted or used against them. They understand that sometimes saying nothing is the best response. It keeps their position strong, their reputation intact, and their influence unquestioned. Respect is not demanded, it is earned. And one of the most effective ways to earn it is through controlled speech and deliberate silence. Those who master the art of saying less while observing more naturally gain influence. Others see them as intelligent, strategic, and in control of their emotions. They are not easily provoked, nor do they seek approval through unnecessary words. Their silence becomes a source of strength, making them stand out in a world where most people talk too much and listen too little. Inner peace is something many people seek, but few truly achieve. The modern world is filled with noise, distractions, and endless demands for attention. People are constantly reacting to social media, to negative comments, to opinions, to stressful situations. This constant reaction creates an unsettled mind, full of worry, stress, and unnecessary tension. But those who embrace silence understand a powerful truth. Peace is not found in external circumstances, but within. By choosing silence over unnecessary engagement, they protect their energy, keep their minds clear, and remain centered no matter what happens around them. When a person talks too much, they often find themselves caught up in drama, arguments, and misunderstandings. They explain, defend, justify, and react, giving away their peace in the process. But when someone chooses silence, they remove themselves from unnecessary chaos. They do not waste time trying to change opinions that do not matter, nor do they engage in meaningless conflicts. Instead, they focus on their own thoughts, their own growth, and their own well-being. This simple practice brings an incredible sense of calm. Silence creates space for self-reflection. When a person is constantly talking, they rarely take the time to sit with their thoughts and emotions. But those who embrace quietness gain a deeper understanding of themselves. They recognize their triggers, their fears, and their deepest desires. They learn to navigate life with clarity rather than confusion. They make decisions from a place of wisdom rather than impulse. This self-awareness allows them to move through life with confidence, knowing who they are and what they stand for. Many people struggle with overthinking. Their minds are filled with endless thoughts, what others think of them, what they should have said, what might happen in the future, but silence helps quiet the mind. When a person learns to sit in stillness, they stop overanalyzing things that do not matter. They learn to let go of unnecessary worries and focus on what is truly important. This shift in mindset brings a profound sense of peace, allowing them to live in the present rather than being stuck in the past or anxious about the future. When someone is silent, they also become more mindful. They notice the small joys in life, the beauty of a sunrise, the warmth of a kind gesture, the calmness of a deep breath. They become more present in their conversations, truly listening rather than waiting to speak. They appreciate the moments that others rush through. This mindfulness leads to a richer, more fulfilling life. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, they experience a deep sense of gratitude and contentment. Embracing silence also helps a person detach from negativity. When people constantly expose themselves to negative conversations, gossip, and toxic environments, they absorb that energy. They become drained, frustrated, and emotionally exhausted. But those who practice silence choose not to participate in these things. They do not let external negativity enter their inner world. They walk away from drama, refuse to engage in arguments, and protect their peace at all costs. This creates a shield around them, allowing them to stay positive and strong. There is incredible power in learning when to speak and when to remain silent. Many people feel the need to defend themselves when criticized, to argue when challenged, or to explain when misunderstood. But those who have mastered inner peace understand that not everything requires a response. They do not waste their energy proving themselves to those who do not matter. They remain calm in the face of criticism, knowing that their value is not determined by outside opinions. This ability to stay composed gives them control over their emotions and actions. When someone carries an inner sense of peace, it affects every area of their life. Their relationships improve because they are not easily offended or reactive. Their work becomes more productive because they are not distracted by unnecessary stress. Their health benefits because they are not constantly in a state of worry or anxiety. Silence becomes a form of healing, allowing them to restore balance in their mind and body. A silent mind is a powerful mind. It is not weak. It is in control. While others are caught up in the noise, those who embrace silence remain steady. They do not seek validation, they do not react impulsively, and they do not allow negativity to disrupt their calm. They move through life with a sense of ease, trusting that everything will unfold as it should. This deep, unshakable peace is something no amount of external success can bring. It is something that must be cultivated from within. Patience is one of the most underrated yet most powerful qualities a person can develop. In a world that glorifies instant gratification, people have become accustomed to expecting immediate results. They want success overnight, relationships without effort, and personal growth without struggle. But the truth is, anything truly valuable takes time. The ability to stay silent and trust the process is what separates those who achieve long-term success from those who give up too soon. When a person embraces silence, they naturally develop patience, and with patience comes the ability to wait for the right things without forcing them. Many people sabotage their own success simply because they lack the patience to see things through. They plant a seed but dig it up too soon, wondering why it has not grown. They start a project but abandon it at the first sign of difficulty. They enter a relationship but walk away the moment things require effort. This cycle of impatience leads to frustration, disappointment, and unfulfilled potential. But those who master silence understand that growth happens beneath the surface, long before results become visible. They do not rush the process. They trust it. There is wisdom in knowing that not everything needs to be controlled or forced. People who constantly speak complain, or try to control every situation often create more resistance than progress, but those who remain silent and patient allow things to unfold naturally. They understand that pushing too hard can ruin what is meant to develop at its own pace. Just like a tree does not grow faster by being pulled, success does not come quicker by being forced. It arrives when the foundation is strong enough to support it. Patience also helps a person navigate challenges with greater ease. Life is full of obstacles, setbacks, and delays. Those who lack patience become frustrated, discouraged, and sometimes even bitter. But those who embrace silence accept these delays as part of the journey. They do not let temporary roadblocks shake their confidence. They keep moving forward, knowing that every step, even the slow ones, brings them closer to where they are meant to be. This ability to persist despite challenges is what ultimately leads to success. Trusting the timing of life does not mean being passive. It means knowing when to act and when to wait. Many people fail because they take action out of fear rather than strategy. They make impulsive decisions because they are afraid of missing out or falling behind. But those who have developed patience through silence do not operate from a place of fear. They move with intention. They know that what is meant for them will not pass them by, and they do not rush into things that are not aligned with their path. Silence also teaches a person to be comfortable with uncertainty. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with patience is that they fear the unknown. They want guarantees, clear timelines, and immediate proof that things will work out. But life does not work that way. Those who trust the process understand that uncertainty is not something to fear, it is something to embrace. They do not need to have all the answers right away. They are willing to move forward with faith, knowing that clarity will come in time. Another advantage of patience is that it prevents unnecessary stress. People who are always in a hurry, always trying to force things to happen, live in a constant state of anxiety. They are never truly at peace because they are always worried about what is next. But those who practice silence and patience live with a sense of calm. They are not constantly chasing, they are allowing. This reduces stress, improves mental well-being, and creates a more fulfilling way of living. Patience is also essential for building meaningful relationships. Many people rush into relationships expecting instant connection and perfection, but deep connections take time. They require understanding, trust, and growth. Those who are patient do not try to force relationships or demand immediate results. They give things time to develop naturally, which leads to stronger, more genuine bonds. Whether in friendships, romance, or professional relationships, patience creates stability and lasting connections. At its core, patience is about trust, trusting yourself, trusting the process, and trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. It is about knowing that silence is not empty, it is full of potential. When a person masters the art of waiting without frustration, of believing without seeing immediate results, they unlock a level of peace and power that few people ever experience. They understand that everything they desire is on its way to them, not through force, but through trust, timing, and quiet confidence. Not everything in life needs an immediate response. Many people believe that they must react to everything, every comment, every challenge, every disagreement. They feel the need to explain themselves, defend their position, or prove their worth. But those who have mastered the art of silence understand that restraint is often more powerful than reaction. They know that not every situation requires their energy, and by choosing when to respond and when to remain silent, they conserve their strength for what truly matters. When someone reacts too quickly, they often act out of emotion rather than wisdom. They say things they do not mean. They make decisions they later regret, and they give away their power by allowing others to control their emotions. But those who practice silence do not fall into this trap. They pause, they think, and they assess whether a response is even necessary. In many cases, silence itself is the strongest response because it denies unnecessary conflicts the energy they need to continue. Restraint is particularly important in moments of anger or frustration. When a person is triggered, their natural instinct is to react, to argue, to defend, to retaliate. But reacting in the heat of the moment rarely leads to a good outcome. It escalates situations, damages relationships, and creates stress. Those who choose silence in these moments demonstrate incredible self-control. They do not let others dictate their emotions, and they do not waste their energy on things that do not serve them. They understand that true strength lies in the ability to remain calm when everything around them is chaotic. In difficult conversations, the ability to stay silent and listen before responding is a sign of intelligence. Many people listen only to reply, not to understand. They interrupt, they assume, and they rush to defend their own perspective. But those who listen more than they speak gain a deeper understanding of situations. They absorb information, they analyze it, and they respond with clarity rather than impulsiveness. This makes their words more impactful and their decisions more effective. Another powerful aspect of restraint is its effect on influence. People who speak too much, who react to everything, and who always seek to prove their point often lose credibility. Their words become predictable, and their reactions become easy to manipulate. But those who speak only when necessary and who choose their words carefully are taken more seriously. When they do speak, people listen because they know their words carry weight. Restraint in speech builds authority and respect in a way that constant talking never can. Silence also protects energy. Engaging in every argument, reacting to every insult, and feeling the need to correct every misunderstanding is exhausting. It drains mental and emotional resources that could be better spent elsewhere. Those who practice restraint recognize that their energy is valuable. They do not waste it on negativity or situations that do not contribute to their growth. They choose their battles wisely, understanding that not every situation is worth their time. The ability to stay silent is also a strategy in situations where others expect a reaction. When someone insults or provokes, they are often seeking a response. They want to trigger an emotional reaction to pull the other person into their negativity. But when faced with silence, they lose power. The person who remains calm and composed maintains control over the situation. They do not allow others to dictate their emotions or their actions. This level of self-mastery is a sign of true inner strength. Restraint also plays a key role in decision-making. Many mistakes are made when decisions are rushed. People feel pressure to respond immediately, to take action without fully thinking things through. But those who practice silence and patience give themselves the time to consider their options. They do not allow external pressures to rush them into choices they may later regret. By stepping back, observing, and thinking carefully before responding, they make better decisions that align with their long-term goals. Ultimately, not everything requires a response because not everything deserves energy. When a person learns to differentiate between what matters and what does not, they gain freedom. They are no longer controlled by external circumstances, by the need to prove themselves, or by the expectations of others. They move through life with a sense of calm and confidence, knowing that their silence is not weakness, but wisdom. They understand that sometimes the most powerful thing they can do is simply say nothing at all. There is a profound power in trusting that what is meant for you will come in its own time. Many people spend their lives chasing, forcing, and worrying about outcomes, believing that they must control every aspect of their journey. They exhaust themselves trying to push things into place, constantly doubting whether they are on the right path. But those who embrace silence understand that life unfolds naturally. They do not resist or rush the process. Instead, they trust that what is truly meant for them will arrive at the right moment without force or struggle. When a person stops chasing, they allow space for things to flow toward them. The more desperately someone pursues something, whether it be success, love, or happiness, the more it seems to elude them. This is because desperation creates resistance. It is a signal to the universe that there is a lack, a void that needs to be filled. But those who remain silent and patient operate from a place of abundance rather than need. They believe that what they seek is already on its way, and this belief attracts the very things they desire. Life has a natural rhythm, a sequence of events that align perfectly when given time. Seeds must be planted before they grow. Effort must be made before results appear. Relationships must be nurtured before they deepen. Rushing any of these processes leads to disappointment. Many people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack trust. They walk away too soon, not realizing how close they were to receiving what was meant for them. But those who understand the power of silence remain steady. They do not let impatience lead them astray. Trusting the process also means surrendering control. Many struggle with uncertainty because they fear the unknown. They want guarantees, timelines, and immediate proof that everything will work out. But life does not operate on human schedules. Those who practice silence embrace the unknown instead of fearing it. They understand that uncertainty is not an obstacle, but a necessary part of growth. They do not need to see every step ahead. They trust that the path will reveal itself as they move forward. Fear of missing out is another reason people struggle to trust the timing of life. They look at others and believe they are falling behind. They compare their journey to someone else's, forgetting that everyone moves at their own pace. But comparison is a distraction. What is meant for one person is not necessarily meant for another. Those who remain silent do not waste energy worrying about external timelines. They focus on their own path, knowing that their moment will come exactly when it is supposed to. Letting go of the need to control everything also brings peace. Many live in constant anxiety, worried about whether they are making the right decisions, whether things will work out, whether they will ever achieve their goals. But worry changes nothing. It does not speed up results or improve outcomes. It only drains energy. Those who trust the process do not allow fear to dictate their actions. They replace worry with patience, understanding that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if they cannot yet see it. Silence plays a crucial role in this mindset. When people talk too much about their plans, their fears, or their doubts, they give their energy away. They invite unnecessary opinions, criticism, and doubt from others. But those who remain quiet about their journey protect their energy. They do not need to announce every step they take. They move in silence, allowing their results to speak for them when the time is right. This does not mean inaction. Trusting the timing of life is not about waiting idly. It is about preparing. Those who practice silence understand that while they cannot control the exact timing of outcomes, they can control their readiness. They use their time wisely, sharpening their skills, deepening their knowledge, and aligning themselves with their goals. When the right opportunities arrive, they are not scrambling to catch up. They are fully prepared to receive them. In every season of life, there is something to be learned. Struggles teach patience. Delays build resilience. Uncertainty strengthens faith. Those who embrace silence do not resist these lessons. They trust that every experience, even the difficult ones, is shaping them for what is to come. They do not panic when things do not go according to plan because they understand that the plan is much greater than what they can see in the moment. They move forward with quiet confidence, knowing that what is meant for them will arrive in its own perfect time.